back to Sochi, Russia, the city of the Olympic adventures last year. The excitement continues as we enter the Ice Cube Curling Centre for this year's edition of the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. We've got some real interesting matchups today on our World Curling TV stream, starting off with Canada taking on Spain, both teams undefeated so far at 3 wins. My name is Sander Elvåg and I'm joined by the Swedish sacred jewel, Sara Karlsson, and we'll be taking a look at the standings before we get started here.
As soon as I'm done with the blushing, Sander, thank you for the introduction. This is the C group. Of course, there's 30 teams in the mixed doubles divided into 3 groups, and you see Spain and Canada top of the table in this group. And Belarus, England and Romania still looking for that first win. Top 2 teams will go straight to the playoffs as we take a look at the lineup for Spain. Iranzo Garcia Vez and brother Gonçalo Garcia Vez. Their team coach is mother Sorkunde Vez.
Lineup for Canada, we'll have Kaylin Park and Charlie Thomas. Team coach is Jim Wade, and we saw them play not too long ago. Pretty solid team. Charlie Thomas, back-to-back World Junior Champion, 06-07, as we take a look at the rules of play. 2 players, obviously, 6 stones per team, 1 is pre-placed, so they only play 5 every end. 22 minutes of thinking time, and we play 8 ends of curling and mixed doubles, although we did have an extra end yesterday. 1 player will play stone number 1 and 5, the other plays stones 2, 3 and 4. And of course, players can swap or switch the positions between ends, and both players can sweep. No takeouts until the 4th stone of each end, even though if the stone's in the house. So obviously this makes for a lot of aggressive curling. We saw a few different tactics employed yesterday, some defensive calls, but also a lot of aggressive ones. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams take on the first couple of ends. Both undefeated, so should be full of confidence. We're going to have a look at the stone colors. Spain will be throwing the red, Canada the yellow, and Canada has outdrawn Spain in the pre-practice last stone draw, so they get the last stone advantage for the first end. Any thoughts on the game, Sarah?
Well, I think it might be quite interesting because Spain has been maybe more likely to be the really aggressive team. They want to go for the freezes, go for the come around, stay around just in that 4-foot area. So if they can really get their draw weight, Iranzo Garcia with the first attempt here, then they can really put pressure on Canada. And I think Canada have been a bit more likely to open things up and more wanting to spread stones around the house and play more like a regular game of curling. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. They're just seeming to want to be a little bit more in control, not packing too much into the 4-foot. As we see Iranzo Garcia coming up heavy on this draw. You remember her, she actually played their first draw all the way through the house against Scotland in the first end yesterday, and they just had a horrendous first end, gave up 5 points to Scotland, but they ended up turning the game around, winning 10-9. So anything can happen in mixed doubles, as you see Kaylin Park for the first time. She'll try and place her stone at the top of the 4.
Line's really good, line's really good.
Yeah, pointing all the way down to the freeze here, certainly leaving it a bit shorter would be really, really good to prevent a good freeze from really closing down the scoring area. She will come all the way down, so it's a nice shot. It will leave Spain the option of freezing again.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. No need to maybe come all the way down frozen. I guess, like you said, with the freeze, a little bump comes here, really closing down the scoring area. So maybe trying to leave that short. It'd be interesting to see how that would pan out for an end. We haven't really seen that.
No, we saw it in a couple of previous mixed doubles world championships, and it's been a recipe for success before. Well, but this freeze certainly puts pressure on Spain, as Gonçalo will also be a bit heavy and leave the 2 yellows, and that could be a costly mistake early.
Yeah, it doesn't really move them around too much either, so just a chance for Charlie Thomas here to put 1 more yellow on top.
pretty good right now.
Whoa.
One of very few back-to-back World Junior champions.
Just top 4.
No. All
John
the way
Morris
in.
being one,
Just leave
98,
it.
99.
Line's really good now.
Just top 4.
Can we?
He's been
Just
playing
two,
with
just two.
Brock Virtue this year in men's play. This one not quite curling enough for him, so maybe a chance for Gonçal to come to the nose of that stone and maybe wiggle things around a little bit. Set
Yeah,
up for a little
pointing to the
pocket.
freeze here, I think with only 3 stones left, they might need to push this back a little bit. So maybe you want to play the same weight that he just threw and try and get to nose.
Fuerzas mejor.
Sí. Whoa.
Tengo que ir por fuerza, eh.
El otro lado.
Well, if they get the line here, I think they probably like a little bump on the yellow. And surely they need to get to the face of the yellow first. And this one not curling either, so just going to rub off, and a chance for Canada to put another in there. So are we looking at a
Can we get there that way?
big first end
This way.
against Spain?
Can we get there that way, though?
It's certainly
right
looking
on,
like it right now.
Not shot.
Okay.
Even in here is good.
As mentioned, did not have the best first end against Scotland yesterday. We might be seeing the same here. And we'll see.
And I do have a feeling if that happens, Canada is not going to be as forgiving, because I think they're a bit more likely then to open things up and spread stones around. The Scots kept playing quite aggressive yesterday, a lot of draws and a lot of stuff behind the tee line, so Spain they were able to catch up, but can't afford another big score in the first end.
That's a pretty good shot by Charlie Thomas. A lot of yellows in there. And he's so sharp in the first end.
Yeah, it's draw weight spot on straight from the start. And Spain still trying to freeze their way out of this. I'm not sure it's really going to benefit them. Even if they play the perfect freeze, I think Canada is still going to sit 4.
We'll see if Iranto has a plan. She will be throwing the last stone. I wonder if you're seeing maybe a bit less curl on this sheet. We're on the end sheet. And we'll just take this rock first. This one also not curling enough. Gonna rub off, and kind of lying 4. Gonna put another on top. Not sure if they'll be outscoring the red one on the right hand side as we saw it, but it's maybe not really the concern right now.
No, that's always going to be open for if they want to hit it or push it back with their last.
Pretty good, though. Pretty good.
Going back to my thought, sheet E, they brought on, I think there's a different set of stones on the sheet, because we were playing with the Olympic stones, but there was only 4 sheets at the Olympics, and we have 5 sheets here for the mixed doubles. So they brought on a local set, or some Russian stones for sheet E, so these stones might curl a bit less.
Yep.
So this sheet might be a little different than the other ones. We're on sheet E, Echo, and I believe the Olympic stones are on sheet A, B, C, and D.
So I think, well, Iranzo is going to play a takeout in this. She might think she's only going to remove 2. The 2 middle ones will probably hang around, but she can get rid of the back one and the top yellow. Oh, and she won't get enough. Canada sitting 4, and this is a shot to score a 6-ender.
Yep, no hesitation there from Kaylin Park and Charlie Thomas. Could have played the end turn draw here for 5, but as we see, The red one's really in the open, so I'd say it's worth a have a go here.
It's a nose hit for 6 points, and of course 6 is the maximum score in mixed doubles.
Is that good with normal, you
I think the tolerance
Yeah.
here is maybe to catch it high side and roll out, and if anything, you score 5 that way. You don't want to crash on your own yellows, so might see her play this one a little safe. Playing some firm weight. So last stone of the first down here for Kaylin Park.
Curl.
Should be a huge score.
Curl.
Very good.
Wanting this one to curl, but as we mentioned, just maybe being a little safe with that one. But I think they'll be well happy with their first end display. 5 points and another nightmare for Team Spain.
You see that good?
Just
Yeah.
like yesterday,
I didn't
conceded
want
5 points to Scotland the first end. To do the same here. And as you said, Sarah, not sure if Canada is going to be as forgiving as the Scottish team. Well, it'll be really interesting to see what tactics Canada choose to play.
Yeah, if they can keep Spain to just a 1 or 2, it's still fairly good. Yesterday, this Spanish team managed to score a couple of 3s.
Yeah, I believe they scored 3 threes actually, and was able to force Scotland to their 1 several times. Yeah, it's a huge turnaround, so we'll see if Spain can
Hey, line should be
do the
good.
same again, but
Weight's close.
Close.
Weight's close.
just now looking
Close, yep.
slightly tough.
Yes. Gotta go. Hard, Kaylin. Hard. Whoa, it's heavy. Whoa. Your line is okay. Okay, good.
So just going to mention the rule about takeouts and mixed doubles. Charlie, if you want to put the defensive gears on, you'd like to just hit everything, but Canada wouldn't be allowed to hit yet, would they?
No, not until the fourth stone in each end. So
The team with hammers, second stone.
exactly. And you're not allowed to hit your own stones. You're not allowed to
gonna be
hit
tough
if
to get
it's in
there.
the rings. So
Well,
it's really
Maybe
just a draw
here.
game.
Yeah, I think just behind the guard, yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, it might not be too bad. Spain wrecked on the guard, but they got a bit of separation. Canada's not allowed to hit quite yet, so might be a way to set up for a multiple
good.
score.
Pretty good.
mine's really nice. Whoa, you can curl.
Pretty good.
Are you here? Not moving at all.
Yeah, it's to it right
It's
now.
also forcing Charlie
move it
Thomas
up.
to draw in a different path.
Okay, you're close.
Okay.
You tap to the basket. Whoa. Yep.
That's a pretty good shot by Charlie Thomas.
Definitely get a good angle, so Spain can't really remove the yellows without also moving their own red.
Seems to be really on point. I wonder if it's something to do with their pre-game practice. Maybe the Canadians just focusing a bit more, and Team Spain might want to have a look at their routines for the pre-game practice and their warm-ups. Maybe not fully focused for that first end.
No, they seem to be a bit heavy on their draw weights in the first end, so that would be something for the coach to have a talk about. And now we're going to see the more cautious approach from Canada. There's really no point for them
Right
to
beside
keep
it.
freezing or guarding. They're up by 5, so they're just going to make sure that they don't give up too many to Spain.
Yeah, the easiest way to do that is, of course, remove the red stones. And since Canada is allowed to play the takeouts now, they will grasp
Ren,
that
just like
chance.
mine.
This one stays a little high, but still not too bad for Charlie Thomas.
Ren, just like
Removes
mine,
the
I
red
think we can
stone.
throw left
Yeah, it
right.
was straight, hey?
Yeah.
I threw it okay, didn't I?
Like throw control next. See? See?
Spain just need to try and gather some stones in the rings, make sure that there's no double available. I think they're going for the same shot. Really important to keep the shooter.
Well, he does. But
No double?
There is, yeah. Half, I guess.
Hey,
Half rock.
same weight?
You're gonna have to throw normal to get it.
Same weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't really throw too much because they need to be quite close to the yellow guard in order to make this double.
yeah, I'd say tolerance here is to at least pass the guard and maybe just roll over there and group the stones. This one's not going to roll very far.
Okay.
Just going to sit there on the back of the four.
Hot.
Not a lot of reds bunching up for Team Spain, so no danger for the Canadians. But you know, if you're Team Spain here, just gonna have to try and score a multiple score yourself, and then you'll know there's a pretty good chance of stealing points in mixed doubles. Another nice hit and roll here. We'll leave the red one's pretty flat, so no double for Canada.
Control.
This should be the straighter turn. I think like control there should be good.
Control though.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Of course, the most important is to get rid of this red, but if they could also get a little roll in behind the guard, it would make it more difficult for Spain to score two.
Yeah, don't want to flirt too much with the guard here. You might even punch it in the house, leave a draw for a four if you're really unlucky.
So important thing is make the red one go away.
Good throw. Nice shot.
She'll hit it right on the nose, which means that Iranzo Garcia should just follow the same path, and they will get a score of two.
See, he's just about all of the yellow, but I'd say the takeout shots are the ones we see maybe missed the most in mixed doubles. Just because you don't have the sweepers, you don't play the takeouts as much, and you're having to throw them in paths that maybe aren't as keen and swept up as the draw path to the forfeit. And we'll see this one starting to curl. Gontal out to sweep, trying to hold the line. Will they get past the guard? They will. And it will stick around for two, so a good shot by Iranzo Garcia. And Spain will get a few points on the board, trailing by 3. And all of a sudden looks a little better for Spanish team. Knowing full and well that very, very possible to steal a few points here. So it's not over yet.
No, definitely. You make the first one really good, and then you've applied some pressure from the start, so stealing is very, very likely in this format.
You see Iranza Garcia ranked number 7
Línea de momento no.
at 66%.
Fuerza. Whoa.
Not too bad
Sola.
for mixed doubles play, but
Cógela,
we
hip,
would like to
hip,
see
hip.
players above the 70 mark.
Hip.
Well, she's got her line right now for this freeze, and that's definitely a huge improvement for Iranzo Garcia. She sits shot stone, top of the button. Of course, she won the bronze last year, but switched playing partners ever since, now playing with her younger brother. So it's a new
Room
team.
right now.
And here you see some good numbers. 78% so far for Kaylin
No,
Park.
looks heavy.
Of course, in mixed doubles, no
Don't have
sweepers,
to
so
go.
that's
Gotta
a
curl, gotta curl.
really good number.
Getting better, no bounce though. Can't bounce yet. Snap, snap. Good. It's all right.
Well, leaves a pocket here, so if Spain can put one right on the 1 foot, might be hard to remove for Canada. At least they're going to have to make a few shots to make it happen. So a bit of a key shot already here for Gonçal. We'll see him playing 70%,
Fuerza es buena, eh?
which is fairly decent numbers.
Está en ti.
And of course, they are undefeated, so you have been doing some things right. Although their first ends might need a little bit improvement. Conceding 5s twice in the first end.
Yeah, that's quite a nice freeze.
Yeah, it chips off the yellow and welds onto the other. So
Canada are gonna tap this apart. Make sure that they get some space.
yeah, that is the key, to free up the Spanish rock
See line
by
right now.
removing the backing.
See line right now.
It's really the yellow stone behind
Justy.
the red that's causing the most problems at the moment. And
Little bounce, little bounce.
as you said, just need some space here.
Take. No. It's really good line.
Create
Good
some
line.
room.
Little bounce.
Yes,
That's good, that's good.
85% for Charlie Thomas. That's amazing for mixed doubles.
And he will just move the back yellow 1.5 feet. That's a pretty good shot. Would have maybe liked to move that yellow even a bit further, but there, there's a guard in the way, so hard to throw too much weight and still come around. And is it slightly straighter on the sheet, perhaps, Sarah, or am I imagining things?
Well, we're not really seeing that huge finish that we saw yesterday, so you're probably right. A bit straighter.
That might go for all the sheets, but like mentioned, I think there's a different set of rocks on sheet Echo.
And Gonçal is getting the draw weight in his pocket now.
Yeah, well, we saw them pick up their draw weight yesterday against Scotland, and of course, that's what made them flip their game around after conceding 5. So they really do have a good draw weight, but apparently it doesn't come out until the second and third end.
They might just know that they play their best under pressure, so make sure that they have a lot of pressure and then game on.
Make sure they're down as much as possible at the start.
Curl.
Run back for Charlie Thomas,
Good.
will get some contact,
Fine.
and well, actually spills his own yellow, leaving Spain line 2.
And even though he ran it,
He
well,
had to
because
curl.
he ran it pretty much straight back, he's also left a guard.
Yeah, so not the best result there, Charlie Thomas, although is very close to being a perfect shot.
Yeah, and Spain, they're going to draw all the way down to the pocket. If they were to stop a bit short, I think that would be very acceptable too, because it's not going to be. Canada's going to need another perfect run back to get something yellow in here if Spain guards in the right spot.
Yeah, you got to respect Charlie Thomas's upweight ability. If you bring all the stones into one bunch, you might see him just throw an iron down the center line and spill everything. So make sure you don't leave an angle for a triple or a quad. This one will pull up a little bit short though, so has been listening to you apparently.
Yeah, they are sitting 2, so I think that's a very good result.
Anything good by smashing that in?
You could hurt us too pretty bad.
It's pretty bad right now.
Yep, I like running it this way though.
Charlie is just going to come down and have a second look.
I mean, you could run that too.
It's pretty good.
Like that? Sure.
I think so.
Says Thomas. Like the sound effects. That would be the slash on the top 2 reds, I believe.
Yeah, and just leave the one, just make sure that they have a way in to score. He really wasn't keen on playing the draw, he really wanted to hit something fairly hard. And
you know, of course, the draw would be really good, but if you don't make it, you're in just even more trouble. So Charlie Thomas favouring the
Good. Nice spot.
the take it, and look at the result. That's really good. Spills 3 reds, although leaves one in a
Much better.
awkward spot, but now there's a lot less red stones in the forfeit. I'd say that's much better.
yeah, the key there was to make sure that they were going to have a way of scoring from either the out-turn side or the in-turn side.
¿Por donde la
So
primera?
No.
Vale.
Spain, though, if Iratsa Garcia can get another one on here and on a good angle, we might see Kaelin with only the button for the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a super chance for Spain to steal maybe 1 or 2, but well, it looks a bit less scary now after Charlie Thomas removed the reds. It's almost like you just want to half freeze your own here, perhaps. Maybe choke off the in-turn draw to the button a little bit.
¿Dónde?
Ti. Más de ti.
Just angle it all up.
Un poco más.
Oh, you don't want to be heavy here.
Pues sí, para darle hasta la nariz.
¿No le da la roja nada?
Looking
No,
pacey.
si la dejas, igual sí. Sí, sí.
I might have to just sweep this one past everything.
Sí.
That's just what's going to happen. So a missed opportunity by Iratsa Garcia.
Conchal, ¿no le da la roja nada? Sí. Si
I'm
la
not
dejas,
quite
sí,
sure if
genial.
Kaelin Park will be able to get to the shot zone.
Puede que sí. Or 2.
Looking at the run back.
Just hack.
Through the hole, not over it.
It doesn't matter.
Nor-
You just have to stick, right?
Okay.
Now
Okay.
thinking
Yeah.
coming the out
Just
turn.
back line.
Yeah. Back line.
There.
There you
Yeah.
go. Backland weight, but you'll see the redstone fully buried behind that
I'll
guard.
brush.
Maybe
Okay.
even a touch over buried. It's a little hard to tell. Kaelin will have a look
Yeah,
from the
I
hack.
need it to be able to curl, so
Yeah, you
just
can.
enough to get it out of the forefoot.
Yeah, just back.
Looks like a pretty tough shot, as we mentioned. We're not seeing the as huge finish as we did yesterday, so I think she's going to have
You
to
need a
come
little more than that,
pretty
back
tight to the
12.
guard.
Okay.
So you're hitting half a rock, right?
13 and a half.
Yeah.
There's also the line turn draw to the pin, but this way she might be able to score more than 1.
Yeah, 2 tricky shots, but one is for
Wait to be
2,
good.
Hey.
Yeah!
and Charlie's up to sweep.
Really close. Whoa! Oh, yeah!
And he's on it now. I think if they're by the guard, it's going to be good.
Oh.
And oh, she's just wrecking.
Yeah, had to play that a little bit tight to the guard, and they just flirted with the guard a bit too much, and they'll rub off, leaving 1 Spanish counter. And again, Spain
close, eh?
clawing their way back after conceding
Yeah, you would have got
5.
it if we were by. But.
Yeah.
So, again, things are shaping up
Yeah. Well,
in the mixed doubles arena, the Ice Cube Curling
Probably
Center here in Sochi. And there's also some other games out there in the arena today. Sarah, is there any way you can give us a few updates?
There is a way I can have a look. And Estonia, they are up 3-1 playing Belarus. It's 1 each between Poland and Hungary. Scotland up 3-0 against England. And Korea has a huge 6-0 lead playing Romania.
Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Línea bien. Sí, es un poco ajustada.
¡Ayuda!
Oh, sí,
¡Ayuda!
So back in action here, fourth end. The scoreline is tightening every end.
Más
Spain
hielo.
scoring in 2 consecutive ends, but this rock not really being put in the right place. Although it's a guard, so
Well, yeah, double center guards can be good when you're looking to steal, but
Vete pa' aquí.
Canada is also going to play. So if Kaelin Park can get this top 8 forefoot, it'll make the next freeze really difficult for Spain. They're
Yep,
going to need to
sure.
try and
Hi.
tap it back. Bit more tricky.
Hey!
coming really tight to the guard. She will again rub on the center guard.
It's got to be back towards the broom.
Maybe just being a bit soft on her release. Charlie Thomas, I think, was just telling Kaelin she needs to pop it back onto the broom, maybe sliding a little bit tight. And there's a lot of players that tend to slide all tight on the broom and then they'll just flick it out. Maybe just not giving that extra little pop in the end.
¡El otro lado!
There's still 2 yellows in the ring, so Gonzalo is going to need a good freeze.
¡Ayuda!
Also really working this for line. Can't get another one onto the guards here. And he is by. Now they need it all the way down. And will make it into the forefoot, so it's not a bad shot.
Pues voy yo. No vengas aquí, Gonzalo, que perdemos tiempo. Vete para allí. Y coge sus tiempos, que solo estás cogiendo tiempos.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Close to T.
No.
Close to T.
So I don't think this
Really
one
close
is
to
You're on this.
as close to the guards. Still waiting to
Come here.
pass the yellow one in the rings.
Yes.
Want another freeze.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And line looks absolutely perfect. And that's a really nice shot. So just the same shot basically for Gonzalo. Like to get a little more weight. It'd be quite good for Spain if they could make sure that
Vas a hacer amarilla.
the yellows are behind the T line.
¿Estás abierto? Oh,
That would give them some backing.
oh. Oh.
Well, leaves it at the top of the 8. So it might be usable for Spain.
I don't know if that's there.
If I throw it right, it is. Or come off that top red is fine
They're
too.
not very far apart. Yeah, you could try it. Try for here.
Yeah, or the other one too.
Yeah. Same weight.
Yeah. Think we need a bit less. Same. Same.
Whoa.
Same weight. Same weight. So a little bump and roll is good.
I'm trying. It's really
Not too much, not too much.
Well,
Just like bump roll right here.
So maybe not quite agreeing on what they wanted with that shot. Charlie Thomas wanting to roll a bit, well, not as far.
Yeah, but they were talking either coming through or bumping and rolling, but
And we ended up with the in-between shot.
yeah, it's quite common
Yeah.
when you have two options. And Spain can actually use that yellow one on the right-hand side. It's angled up pretty nice for them if they want to create a yellow pocket behind the tee line. They're going to come around the in-turn, still setting up here.
see? Whoa, whoa!
And this would be Gonzalez in turn, being a left-handed player.
Whoa,
Seems to have a bit weight here.
whoa. See?
He's going to come off his own red, and it's not leaving him the best of angles on the left-hand side of the sheet. There is still a good angle on the other side, though, but I wonder if Canada might be
Or
thinking
you
to
can
guard
play
it.
this
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but
and move that out. It's pretty good.
Only 2 stones left
They'll
here.
sit right here.
yeah.
They have nothing there or this side, really. They'll have this bump, maybe. But I don't...
Yeah, the thing is, so if they hit this right now on the outside, this is staying right there, right? This one's jamming there, and you're just gonna leave the red like right there. So we're not sitting bad over there.
We only have one rock left
I know.
after this.
I'm saying that this isn't that bad for us. Like they can get shot out of it, but we're gonna have an easy run back like that, right?
Yeah.
We can try come right there. And just get 3 in.
You don't like this at all?
Well, what if I just go over top? I don't know, it's not that great, is it?
If you ever just move that, it's great.
All right.
Do you like that, though? Do you like just drawing?
No, play the hit.
Okay, so a little bit back and forth here.
I feel like they can
Just an inch more.
get 2 things done with 1 stone if they hit and roll in here. They will take the angle off for Spain and get another yellow in a good spot.
Well,
Good.
rolls through the hole.
It's fine.
Pretty good shot, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like that.
Miranzo could try and remove as many yellow as possible here, but I don't really think they're going to go.
I got the run back now. Double, run,
Triple?
double, triple. Yeah, that's pretty bold call.
Well,
Doesn't seem to be the easiest shot. There's a few other things you could do.
what would you do?
I'm not quite sure, but
I don't mind this. If she hits us on the nose, it could be quite good, I think.
it could be very good. But this is a tough shot here. You can't really afford to give up too many points. Spain already trailing by 2.
Oh, and quiet is normally not the... Oh,
That is a bit unfortunate.
Yes.
Picks out her own red. I'm not sure if Canada is lying 2 or 3. It might just be only 2, but still going to be an open hit for 4. That's not quite what they were looking for.
no, really unlucky to only get her yellow, no, her own red out of there and nothing else. Tough break for Iranzo Garcia.
Now, is this a draw we see from Canada?
It looks like they have ice for the draw, so that would mean they are lying 3.
Another huge score for Canada here. And the cards. Scored 5 in the
Line's
first
good.
end. Now here with the last stone
Your
of
line's
the
really
fourth.
good, yep.
Kaylin Park with a chance to score
good.
4.
Wait only, line's really good. No backing yet. Okay, you got backing now. Yep. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A little heavy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
A little bit heavy, but just got some backing here. Just enough to score 4. And Canada, with that, will lead the game. 9 shots to 3.
Yeah, and the players will have a short break, so we will be back just before the second half. And Sander's going to tell you all about the highlights.
I will. So, looking at the highlights here between Canada and Spain, the first 4 rounds. Starting off with the first one. Big trouble for Spain as Kaelin Park hits the red, rolls out. There was a chance of scoring 6, but I think they'll be happy enough with the 5. In the second end, Spain trying to get a few points back. There's an open takeout for Irvansu Garcia to score 2, gets past the guard with a little bit of sweeping from her brother Gonçal to make that happen. So 5-2 after 2 ends. Canada would get the hammer back in the third end. Kaylin Park needing to come really tight to the guard to pick out the shot stone for a couple of points.
Yeah, you would have got it if we were by.
Just rubs the guard.
Yeah.
And Spain steals 1. In the fourth end, however, we saw Iranzu Garcia with her last stone trying to run things back, but ended up chipping out her own, leaving a draw for 4. Canada and Kaylin Park, no problems with the outturn. All heavy, of course, but fountains to backing. It would be 9-3 after 4 ends. So back in action here in the 5th end. Kaylin Park looking for that ever so important
Line's really
freeze.
good right now. Room.
Good.
Close. Yep.
Gotta go soon.
Yep. Yep. Gotta go. Okay, line's really good. Line's really good. Wait only. Wait only.
Gotta go.
Okay, go then. Yep.
Like, really good.
So still interesting to see how Canada deals with this huge lead that they've got. It's, as we've been talking about, it's not so easy to be defensive in mixed doubles curling, but 9-3 should be a pretty comforting lead for the Canadian team.
Línea bien. Solo fuerza, ¿eh? De momento solo fuerza. Sí, sí, línea. Sí.
Well, will crash on the guard here, Iranzu, and that is, well, usually not too bad when you have the last stone. You create a bit of room, but don't feel like we're seeing the big scores when the center guard is taking off. Seems like it's when you get into the forfeit play, you'll be able to score big, but Spain with last stone. Chips off the center guard.
A little bounce
Still
right
a chance to score a couple.
That's okay.
We saw them score
Just
2 in
do
the
it.
second, and
Have
there
to
was a
go a bit.
fairly open end.
Leave it all you can.
Okay.
Taking a look at the other sheets, we see Estonia with a 5 shots to 4 lead over Belarus at halftime. Hungary has a 4 shots to 2 lead over Poland at halftime. In the 5th end, we have Romania playing Curvia. After 4 ends, Curvia with a dominating 10-0 lead. Also them scoring 5 in the first end. And the last game out there is England taking on Scotland. Scotland starting off the game with 3 steals, stole 1 in the first end, and then 2 in both the second and third. But England with a score of 3 in the 4th end before halftime, so 5 shots to 3 lead for the Scots. 9 shots to 3 lead for Canada, of course, in our featured game on the World Curling TV live coverage. You're listening to Sander Elvåg and the lovely Sara Karlsson.
You're quite lovely yourself, Sander, I would say.
Why, thank you.
Well, it
Sarah is,
is,
of course,
but
contracted to
yeah.
give me compliments.
Yes, they
no,
pay
I
me
like
more
this
when I
better.
do.
Frozen on this one.
You're just kind of leaving a big wall. Is that all right?
This is a big wall. These are all even.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a big wall, and so what should you do about it? Sander, what do you think?
Well, it looks like Canada is going to just freeze the pocket here. And I don't really see any big risk playing that shot.
Pretty good. Same.
Of course, you could try and smash everything and get some separation and some reds flying, but
Same weight.
It's over curling if anything.
Canada doesn't have the last stone,
Tap,
so
tap.
you might feel comfortable with
That's good.
locking everything in.
It seems like they're on to something good here. Spain can still keep freezing here, but they're going to need some type of separation if they want a multiple score. The yellow ones are out freezing the reds.
Yeah, I think we've seen that a little often from Team Spain. Calling the freeze a lot when you really need to be moving stones about. But 2 stones left to go after this, so still chances to to make things happen. So a bit of a setup shot here.
Yeah, but it's a tricky thing in mixed doubles. You only play 5 stones, so you're not allowed too many setup shots. Maybe you just set up with the 2 first, and then you're gonna need to make a play on something.
Of course, mixed doubles a fairly new discipline, and I'd say there's still a lot of discussion to be made about tactics. And I know there's a few scouts here in the arena filming a few games, and gonna be some research, especially if mixed doubles become an Olympic sport. There'll be a lot more money and effort being put into the mixed doubles, I believe. We might see some, maybe some players from the men's and women's competition might switch over and focus on mixed doubles.
Yeah, I know that this Canadian duo is definitely talking about it. You see a good opportunity of becoming Olympians.
Has to sit, don't touch it.
Of course, very hard to qualify for the Olympics in Canada, and men's and women's play. So many good teams over there.
That's really good.
And while that shot from Gonçal is not in a bad spot, it was in a very usable spot. We now see that you need to make things happen while you can, because Canada has selected to put a guard up here. And it's definitely making things a bit more difficult for Spain. So if he can hit pretty much as he can see of this red, he should remove 1 yellow. Maybe even get both of them moving just from the 1 foot area, but it's not the perfect angle.
Well, I'd say that's a pretty good effort.
Yeah, definitely.
As
well skipped by Iranzo.
bit of a snooker shot.
Are we shot?
Yeah, that's a good question. Charlie Thomas confirming that he believes the yellow is a shot stone at the moment, but there's a few reds surrounding it.
Yeah, the question is, how do you get to the reds?
Bang, bang, bang.
I'm expecting you to know this.
Well, I'm sure there's
Maybe we
some
can smash this, get all 3 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Gillian Park, all surprised with the latest call from Charlie Thomas.
But I mean,
we'll
we are
come down
shot.
and
We
have a
only
look.
have a shot for 2.
Pretty good. Isn't it?
Yeah, like you have quite a bit of that, eh?
Yeah.
You want to hit this first.
Huh?
You want to hit as much of this as you can.
What if I hit it too thin?
Chance to
I
make
have
both reds
almost
go.
all of it. I like that.
Right there?
Yeah. Heel, right?
Yeah, just throw this one as hard as you can, and you might see all 3 reds fly.
Yeah, 2 of them should go fairly easily. This is when you benefit from having 2 players that can throw all types of shots.
And Gillian Park can absolutely throw the bullet down the sheet. We'll see the example here. Will she be accurate enough though? Well, didn't quite hit it where they wanted to hit it, but the result looks pretty good still.
Yeah, good enough to sit 3. I'm not sure there's going to be a chance for Spain to get a multiple score.
So yeah, I think they're just drawing for 1.
Really need to put some point on the boards for Spain. Can't really concede anymore in this game.
But I don't think that's going to be enough for Irantu Garcia.
It's close, but it will be a steal for Canada.
10-3 after 5 ends. Looking like a pretty solid lead, even for our mixed doubles. I think a 7-point lead after 5 ends should be enough for the Canadians. Obviously playing fairly well, so can't really see them. Can't really see the wheels falling off for them. But mixed doubles has surprised me before. 3 ends to go. We play 8 ends in mixed doubles. So Kaylin Park, well, getting ready to throw the out-turn freeze.
Line's pretty good. Line's pretty good.
Staying away from the hill. So this one might be all heavy.
Line's perfect. The weight's good. Line's perfect. Really good throw.
But result isn't too bad. Well punched right out of the forefoot.
Really good. Yep.
And normally you like to see separation when you have hammer, but in this case I think Canada with a big lead, they might not mind the separation, because if they're gonna want to start hitting, it could be quite good to have a little room. Do you think?
Yeah, just keep things a little open. Might, as you said, make it easier for the takeouts. Not putting everything so tight in the forefoot, but.
And Irantu, she's done this a couple of times now. It's good that she got her shooter in the rings, because remember, Canada's still not allowed to hit anything. But she really wanted to get around that guard and get a good freeze in there. They need to score 3 or more, I would say. And this time Spain is electing to play a bit more weight to try and move the yellows apart. And it's not a bad call. They are still, they do still have 3 lying around. It would have been really nice for them if that back yellow would be worse than the top red.
Well, you can come in. Risky though. I don't like it.
Yeah, up 7 points. Might as well make sure that the red stones go away. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't mind this call. Still have a shot stone in front of the tee line behind the guard too, so Spain's going to have to do some work. Not sure if you need to stick around here, actually. Rolling out here, it's pretty good. Keeping the house clean and neat makes things a little more simple.
Very good. Great.
keeping the yellow one around could have just made things more problematic for Team Canada.
Puedes tirar back.
No.
Si le das a la guardia
Spain
no pasa
looking
nada.
to
¿Eh?
Freeze.
Si le das a la guardia no pasa nada, pero intenta el back.
Ya.
looking to tap it. Gonçal thinking maybe he should freeze. So he's going to come down and propose his call.
Si hago back, ellos van a ir a por el doble y ya te has cargado esto. Si te hago
Ya,
freeze,
Gonçal, pero-
no tienen para quitarla.
Ya que te estoy diciendo que hagas un freeze y si se va a alargar haces un
Pero
back.
mucho más hielo. ¿No ves cómo está cayendo?
Te estás yendo abierta. Pues es que hay que venir aquí. Y me da igual si abres la guardia.
I'm not quite sure what the call is in the end. I think maybe Gonçal got his wish to play the freeze. They were looking to keep the freeze on the high side, I believe. Not taking a lot of ice for that though, so I'm not quite sure if that is a call.
No puede ser corta, ¿sí?
Looks like a draw.
¡Sí! ¡Sí! ¡Sí!
Last one coming up a bit shy, will rub on the guard, but will spin the red one into the house. And now exposing the shot stone.
Yeah, collecting some stones all over the rings here, Spain.
Yeah,
They
all
have a
these,
couple more shots to try and make all of them count.
all these nibblers might come back to haunt you, so Canada sees that, and Galen Park thinking, well, maybe we should play a hit on the red.
Yeah, they could hit this and just roll in to sit in front of their shot stone.
Wonder if they've just called the draw though. Seems like it. Not running scared here, Charlie Thomas. Just wanting to put one more yellow in there, seeing it being the easiest way to complicate things for Spain.
Let's do it.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job at it so far.
Top
No,
four.
it has to curl.
This one just going to enter the top of the four, looking pretty good.
Ya, pero es que hay que hacerlo.
Tienes que intentar con la guardia.
¿Cansa la guardia? No, porque nos podemos meter aquí en un jaleo más grande del que
Ya,
tenemos.
y es que yo no la veo.
Como mucho, esa. Te dejo intentarlo, pero es que
Más fácil con esa.
no, porque en esa puedes hacer el doble. Tira hack, por lo menos para que la nuestra no se vaya.
So definitely got some work cut out for them here, Spain. Only 2 stones left, and they somehow they need to remove both the yellows and the forfeit. And there's no real shot to do that now, so I guess this is another setup shot. They need to tap things around at least. Taking a lot of ice for the shot though, so I'm not quite sure what the plan is. Even for Charlie Thomas's draw, you didn't see it move sideways in the end.
No, it looks like they're playing maybe hack weight.
The angled run on their own red. I wonder if that's the call here. But
Oh,
it's going to go straight past it, not even making contact with the top red. And Canada still lying 2.
yeah, and if Kaylin gets another one in here, I don't really see how Spain is going to score. You see that left
there,
red
that's the only way.
is blocking off
You'll be good. It's good
the
here.
draw.
Yeah, they might have to tap that one to the 1 foot to score. And whatever Kaylin does here, the only thing she pretty much needs to avoid is leaving a triple, if that
You just hit
is
this if you want.
possible.
Okay.
Canada really being rewarded for the aggressive calls. Forcing Spain to make the tougher shots is really got them a bit shaky.
Gotta make sure not to crash on the guard here.
No.
Good weight.
Hey, line's okay, line's okay.
Really nice weight.
Line's okay. It's right here.
Weight straight. Chew it. Chew it.
Whoa, no bump, no bump,
Chew it,
no
chew it,
bump.
chew it. Gotta go, Sue.
Okay, you're good, you're good. Go, 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 go. Straight to it, yep. Okay, well.
This is looking like another nice draw from Kaelin Park. Right on top of their own. Now, what does Spain have?
I think they're left with a tap to the button.
Tienes que darla aquí.
But
¿Eh?
Kaelin tapped it a little bit too, so
Yeah.
it's not a great angle.
Aquí no te va a venir.
Hombre, claro que me va. Más. Es una promoción.
Might be an angled run to get all three yellows moving, but I'm not quite sure if Aranzu Garcia can throw that amount of weight.
Yes, scoring one here is not going to be enough. It's a tough shot for one, and even if she makes it, they're still going to be down 6 points with 2 ends to go. So it's not looking pretty for the Spanish team.
Yeah, it might just be the last stone of the game here for Aranzu Garcia, looking quite bleak. Maybe not. Maybe not the shot she was hoping for in this end. A incredibly tough tap for one. This one starting to over curl, and they're going to come through the hole instead. And I think it will be enough for a second shot, but another point on the board for Canada. And you'll see Aranzu and Gonçalo Garcia put out their hand and say it's enough for us. 11-3, that's going to be too tough to come back from. 8-point deficit, 2 ends to go, so not really realistic for them to continue. So we had a bit of an interesting start. Canada scored 5 in the first end. Spain looked to be maybe clawing back a little bit in the second and third, but then Canada scored that 4 in the fourth end to really kill off the game. And then they picked up a couple of singles as well. So 11-3, another win for Canada. So they will still be undefeated in the group with 4 wins. Spain moved to 3 wins, 1 loss. If you stick around, we'll see some highlights from the 6 ends we had. And we'll have our lovely reporter, Sarah Carlson, out in just outside the field of play. And we'll try and have a few words with the winning team, Kaelin Park and Charlie Thomas. I can update you on the other scores in the arena today. One other final score is between Kirby and Romania. Romania not being able to score at all. Korea winning the game 12-0. Yeah. Taking a look at the highlights first. First end between Spain and Canada, a bunch of yellow stones in the forefoot. Spain not quite pulling off a lot of shots. Kaelin Park here with a chance to score 6. Does roll out, however, but scores 5. So a huge start for Team Canada. In the second end, not as many stones in play, but Aranzu Garcia with a nice chance to score 2. Comes past the guard with a little bit of sweeping from brother Gonçalo. And a deuce it is for Team Spain. In the third, Kaelin Park looking for an out-turn tap on the red. Needs to come pretty close to the guard, and in the end just ended up being a bit too cute with it.
Yep. Yeah, you would have got it.
Steal a 1 for Spain.
Yeah.
Last end before halftime. We'll see Aranzu Garcia's last stone with a really difficult run double. And she'll end up being very unlucky to pick off her top red, leaving a draw for 4. Kaelin Park already lying 3 here. And she'll come up a little bit heavy with the draw, but she's got some backing. And it would be enough for 9-3 lead after 4 ends. Coming back onto the ice in the 5th. And we saw again a lot of yellows in the forfeit. Iranza Garcia having to play a draw for 1, but doesn't quite curl enough and leaves Canada stealing 1, 10-3 after 5. And we'd have a bit of the same story in the 6th end. Iranza Garcia with her last stone comes through the hole, but it would not be enough to score. Another steal for Canada, and Spain will concede the game 11 shots to 3. So, as I mentioned, Korea beating Romania 12-0. Well, we also have another final now. Hungary picked up a steal of 3 in the 6th end, so they beat Poland 11-2. Still ongoing games. We have Estonia playing Belarus. Estonia with an 8 shots to 5 lead after scoring 3 in the 6th end. They're currently playing the 7th. And of course we have a neighbour brawl between England and Scotland. It's Alan McDougall and female player Watson playing Lee McCleary and Judith McCleary. Right now the score is 7 shots to 3 for Scotland. Alan McDougall just played his last shot in the 6th end here, so we'll have a score for you very shortly, and also of course the interview with Team Canada will be up in a few moments. And just seeing the umpires put the score up on the board.
So 4 straight wins. What did you think of the game?
I thought we played pretty well. Made a lot of draws early, and they kind of got behind the 8 ball, and she had trouble making her last shot, so that seemed to be the difference.
With no early hits allowed in mixed doubles, what's your strategy when you get a big lead?
Definitely just play smart, keep things as open as possible, obviously, so when you get an opportunity to do a run back or a double, you take it.
And you guys obviously prepared a lot for this. What do you think makes a good mixed doubles team?
You have to get, like I said earlier, you have to get your draw weight really early and put pressure on the last thrower, and that seems to be the key to success.
So finally, what's your focus for the rest of the week?
Obviously just playing our best in every game, taking one shot at a time, and hopefully getting ourselves into playoffs.
Well, good luck, enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks.